Hello, movie nerds, and welcome to Cinematic Sarcastic, the podcast that talks all things movies and television. I'm Natalie, and I'm your host. On today's episode, I wanted to talk about my favorite film of all time. It was released in 1985 and was called Legend. If you remember from a previous episode, I mentioned that I had been in love with Tom Cruise since I was 5 years old, and Legend is the reason why. So Legend is the story of Tom Cruise. He plays the character named Jack. He is a forest child. He lives within nature. He's outside of society. And he is in love with the character Lily, played by Mia Sara. I actually had the chance to meet Mia Sara when she came to my hometown. I believe for the anniversary of Legend, she read some of her poetry and introduced the film, and I got to meet her and get her autograph, and it was absolutely one of the highlights of my life. So Jack and Lily, who are in love in the film, he takes her to go see the unicorns for the first time. Through her actions, she kind of plunges them into this winter dark age, and they end up getting separated. So Jack goes on this journey to rescue her. But one of the things that I absolutely love about Legend is that even though there is a hero to the story, Lily is by no means the damsel in distress. She ends up getting taken by Darkness, who is their enemy in the film, and he is essentially the devil. But she really stands in the face of him. She tries to correct the things that she has done wrong, and she definitely is not that woman that just sort of cowers and waits for Jack to come find her. And it was one of the things that I truly loved as a little girl. Legend, I think, also contains everything that a fantasy movie should. There are unicorns, there are goblins, there are creatures. I mean, it's just a wonderful array of characters in this film. My favorite character, aside from the main cast, is this creature called Meg Mucklebones. She is what I would say as kind of a swamp creature, and she eats basically whatever comes along in the swamp. And there is a wonderful scene between her and the character Jack where he is essentially trying to convince her not to eat him by telling her, how beautiful she is and letting her take a look at herself in his shield that he carries. And he does actually distract her enough to be able to defeat her and get away and continue on his quest. But Meg Mucklebones is just the epitome of creature creation, in my opinion. And the creature creation in this film is just wonderful across the board. But Meg Mucklebones has always stood out to me. I must have been an incredibly strange child, but she was always a character that fascinated me, and I've always really enjoyed the art of creature creation and just the way that they used prosthetics and makeup in the film in order to really make these wonderful characters come to life in a way that I feel like modern movies using CGI just cannot compete with. If Sideshow Collectibles ever did a statue of Meg Mucklebones, I would snatch it up so fast. She is just wonderful to behold. So another thing that I really loved about Legend, and I'm talking the theatrical version, I've never really enjoyed the director's cut because the thing that I really loved about Legend was the music that went along with it. And all of the music was done by a band that was semi-popular in the 80s called Tangerine Dream. And I believe the lead singer in Tangerine Dream was also in the band. Yes, he has a very unique voice if you've ever heard it. But the soundtrack is just so unforgettable in my mind. If you were to show me a clip of the film, I could instantaneously think of the song that went along with it or the music that went along with it. It just fits so perfectly to me. There is a particular scene that always stands out in my mind. I believe the scene is called The Dance, and it is where Lily is being sort of seduced by darkness, and she is having this dance with a phantom figure. She's in this beautiful black dress, and the waltz music that plays behind her is just so eerie and so beautiful and fits the scene perfectly. So what did you think of Legend? Have you seen it? I would highly recommend watching it if you haven't. Subscribe if you want to join the Movie Nerd family, and I hope to see you in the next episode.